My name is Alistair, and I'm starting to believe my house isn't shaped correctly. Not in a way you can measure, in a way you can feel. I bought the house on Willowick Lane because of the light. It was a post-war bungalow in a quiet suburb of Melbourne, all red brick and tidy lawns. The realtor called it honest. The front rooms were drenched in northern sun from mid-morning onward, a warm, buttery glow that made the honey-coloured floorboards seem to glow from within. My wife, Clara, saw potential for a nursery, a home office, a future. I saw peace. The unease began not with a sound, but with a silence. A specific, localized silence. The house had 3 bedrooms, ours at the end of the hall, a guest room, and a smaller one we used as a storage catch-all. If you stood in the precise center of that small room, all external sound vanished. Not muffled, not dampened, gone. The distant hum of the fridge, the tick of the hallway clock, the faint traffic murmur from 2 streets over. It was as if someone had placed a soundproof bell jar over you. Step a foot to the left or right, and the world's noise rushed back in. Clara laughed when I showed her. She stood in the spot, closed her eyes, and shrugged. "It's just a quiet room, Ali. A well-insulated corner. It's nice." But it wasn't nice. It was a pocket of absolute nullity. I started avoiding the room. Then came the geometry. I'm a draftsman by trade. Lines, angles, perspectives are my language. I noticed it first while trying to plan a bookshelf for the living room. The far wall, the one with the fireplace, seemed shorter than its opposite. Not by much. A few centimeters at most. I got out my laser measure. The numbers told me both walls were exactly 4.32 meters. Yet, to the eye, standing at the threshold, the right wall persistently appeared to recede slightly, creating a trapezoidal illusion the measurements denied. I showed Clara the laser readout. "See? Perfectly square," she said, patting my shoulder. "You've been staring at blueprints too long." The incidents were minor, solitary. A cup of tea left on the coffee table would be found cold minutes later, as if hours had passed for it alone. The scent of damp earth would bloom in the hallway on dry, sunny days, with no source. I'd wake at 3:09 a.m., not startled, but simply awake, with the certain, unshakable feeling that the house was holding its breath. Clara slept through the night, every night. The true chilling turn was the doors. Not that they opened or closed by themselves. Nothing so blatant. It was the degree to they were open. I am a creature of habit. I closed doors fully, latched. Our bedroom door at night was always shut, flush with the jamb. I began to wake to find it open exactly 2 inches. A precise, dark slice of hallway beyond. Clara, asleep, was a still mound beside me. No draft strong enough to move a solid core door that precisely. I started documenting it. A note by the bed. Door closed, latched, 11 p.m. A photo. In the morning, another photo. There it was, the 2-inch gap. Clara dismissed it. "You must have just nudged it in your sleep. The latch is old. It doesn't always catch." But I could feel the latch's solid click under my thumb. I knew. The final straw was the garden. I was out back, pruning the lavender bush by the rear fence. The kitchen window was open. I heard Clara inside, humming, unloading the dishwasher. I glanced up at the house, and I saw myself. In our bedroom window, second from the left, a figure stood, silhouetted against the lighter curtain. My height, my build, standing perfectly still, looking out, not at me in the garden, but down the side passage of the house. A jolt of ice shot down my spine. I was here. Clara was in the kitchen. The house was empty otherwise. I dropped the shears and ran inside, taking the back steps 2 at a time, bursting into the bedroom. It was empty, sunlit, innocuous. The curtain swayed gently in the breeze from the cracked window. Clara came upstairs, concerned by the noise. "What's wrong?" "There was someone at the window, up here." She looked around the empty room, then at my face. Her expression softened from alarm to a familiar, weary patience. "A trick of the light, love," A reflection from the gum tree outside, maybe. She came over and took my hand. It was damp with cold sweat. Alistair, you're so tense. This house, maybe it's not right for us. Maybe the stress of the move. She thought it was the house in general, the concept, not the specific, quiet, measuring wrongness of this house. That was the true horror. The isolation of my perception. I've taken to measuring things, not with the laser, but with a string and knots. I mark distances, the length of the hallway, the width of each step on the staircase, the depth of the kitchen sink. I have a ledger. The numbers never change, yet my string tells different stories on different days. The third step is sometimes a knot width shorter, the sink a knot width deeper. Clara doesn't comment on the ledger or the string. She just watches me sometimes, her eyes full of a quiet, sad distance. Last night, I sat in the living room in the dark. The buttery light was long gone, replaced by the cold blue of a street lamp filtering through the blinds. I stared at the far wall, the one that refuses to be square, and for a moment, in the patterned shadow, I saw it not as a flat surface, but as a facade, a thin, papery layer over something else that was breathing slowly, in time with the silent pocket in the small room upstairs. A geometry not meant for human living. I know Clara is making an appointment for me. She thinks the problem is inside my head, and perhaps it is. But as I sit here, feeling the house's steady, hidden pulse beneath the measured, normal world of red brick and floorboards, I have a terrible, sinking certainty. The house is letting her see what she needs to see. It is only showing me what it truly is.